Dear students, in today's class, we will deal with the most important aspect of organic chemistry, that is inductive effects, one of the electron displacement effects. In general, in the case of organic chemistry, it is better to follow most of the organic reactions through mechanistic approach. In order to have the better understanding through mechanistic approach, one must be familiar with all the types of electron displacement effects. And here you see electron displacement effects. One is inductive effect, other one is mesomeric effect, third one is hyperconjugation, fourth one is electromeric effect, fifth one is inductomeric effect. These 5 effects you have to consider. And in today's lecture, we will discuss the inductive effect and its application as lecture number 1. Of course, one more lecture is needed to complete the effects of applications of inductive effect. Prior to that, you have to know first, these 3 inductive effects, mesomeric effect or resonance effect, hyperconjugation, these 3 effects are permanent polarization effects. What is meant by permanent polarization effect? That means this effect will be taking place in the ground state of the molecule. There is no need to approach for the reagent to come to the molecule. Itself, the polarization will be taking place in the ground state of the molecule. And that is why first 3 effects are known as permanent polarization effects. Next 2, electromeric and inductomeric effects are less important, and whenever needed, we will consider these, which are temporary polarizable effects. At the need of the reagent, the polarization will be taking place, and when the reagent is removed from the sphere of the reaction, the electron cloud will be reverted back, and that is why it is temporary polarizable effects. Okay? Now, we will take the inductive effects. We will consider the inductive effects in detail. What is meant by inductive effects? Effect which is taking place only through sigma bonds. So, one simple definition you can write here. In what way? Bringing polarization in a sigma bond, under the influence of adjacent polar covalent bond. This is also sigma bond. This is called inductive effect. This is called inductive effect. This is the simple definition of inductive effect. Causing polarization through sigma electron clouds is inductive effect. In order to have the better understanding for this inductive effect, first let us consider a polar covalent bond like CCl bond. This is a polar covalent bond because that bond is present between 2 heteroatoms. Electronegativity values, if you consider, approximately for chlorine it is 3.0 and for carbon it is 2.5. As a result of which, the electron cloud will be shifting towards chlorine. It will be spending more of its time under the influence of the chlorine nucleus. So, electron cloud is moving towards chlorine due to higher electronegativity, and thereby chlorine gets partial negative charge. With the same magnitude, carbon gets partial positive charge, and this is called polar covalent bond. You know pretty well, this is the representation of covalent bond. This is the representation of coordinate covalent bond. This is the representation of polar covalent bond. This is the representation of resonance condition. This is the representation of tautomerism. Because in tautomers, equilibrium is existing between the two tautomers. There is no other isomerism in which dynamic equilibrium is existing. This is the only tautomerism wherein we can see the dynamic equilibrium in between two tautomers. So these are the various representations. And so this is the polar covalent bond. And this covalent bond direction is towards chlorine. So this is CCl covalent bond, polar covalent bond. Suppose this carbon is attached to further carbon chain, then what is going to happen? Let us observe. Like this. This is the C1 carbon, like this here. This is C2, this is C3, this is C4, like this. This is the whole molecule, representation of the whole molecule. And here, as CCl bond is polar, chlorine gets partial negative charge. With the same magnitude, carbon gets partial positive charge, like this. Now, due to the higher electronegativity of chlorine, C1 is made electron deficient. But if you consider actually C2-C1 bond, covalent bond, this is non-polar. Why? Because it is present in between the same two atoms. Both are having the same electronegativities. And so this is non-polar. In this non-polar covalent bond, polarity is induced by this polar covalent bond. That is called inductive effect. So as C1 is made electron deficient, that C1 seeks the electrons from C2 C3 bond, C2-C1 bond. As a result of which, carbon 2 is slightly made electron deficient, and so it gets electron, delta plus partial positive charge, smaller magnitude than delta plus. Once again, C2 is made electron deficient. It once again seeks the electron cloud from C3-C2 bond. As a result of which, C3 is also made slightly electron deficient. So C3 once again gets partial positive charge with smaller magnitude than delta plus. And this is the way you have to represent. If you think here, and this is the polar covalent bond. This is the polar covalent bond. And this polar covalent bond is inducing the polarity in the adjacent sigma bonds. That is what we call inductive effect. And so now the definition can be written in another mode. If you take this as a whole, basing on this you can write the definition in another angle. What is it? A polar covalent bond. A polar covalent bond in a molecule induces the polarity in the adjacent sigma bonds. In the adjacent sigma bonds. This is called inductive effect. This is called inductive effect. In this way, you can define the inductive effect in another angle. A polar covalent bond in a molecule induces the polarity in the adjacent bonds in the same direction. Don't forget, that is also you have to add one more, in the same direction. You can write here. In the same direction. And this is called inductive effect. This is the another definition of inductive effect. And you can observe, inductive effect, in what way it is spreading? Inductive effect is spreading through sigma bonds. It is taking place in the ground state of the molecule. So it is permanent polarization effect. So here, inductive effect takes place in the ground state of the molecule, first point. So it is a permanent polarization effect. And you can also see it is spreading through sigma bonds. No pi bond representation is there. And so here it spreads through sigma bonds. And here the effect of Cl on C1 is greater than the effect of C1 on C2. Similarly, effect of C1 on C2 is greater than the effect of C2 on C3 and so on. What does it mean? At the distance from the group, this is the group. The distance from the group is advancing. Inductive effect is gradually diminishing. So, it is distance dependent effect. It is distance dependent effect. That means as the distance from the group is increasing, the inductive effect is decreasing, and beyond third carbon it is practically nil. So it takes place in the ground state of the molecule. It is a permanent polarization effect. It spreads through sigma bond. It spreads through sigma bond. This is more important. As the distance is, it is distance dependent effect. As the distance from the group is increasing, inductive effect is diminishing, and beyond third carbon here, it is practically nil. You need not consider the inductive effect at all. Up to third carbon, you can consider the effect of the inductive effect. So this is the situation you have to understand for the inductive effects. Next, we have to go to the types of inductive effects. Please note it. Here also we can note one more point here. In this direction it is spreading. In this direction it is spreading. In this it is spreading. This is the direction. Please note it. Now let us consider the types of inductive effects. Inductive effect, which is represented by the symbol I. Inductive effect is of two types. One is plus I, other one is minus I. Negative inductive effect minus I, positive inductive effect plus I. When a group attached to carbon is releasing the electron cloud towards the carbon, it is called electron releasing group. Whenever electron is released by a group, it is called positive effect. Whenever electron is withdrawn from the carbon, then that group is called electron withdrawing group, and it is electron withdrawing effect. So here minus I will be showing the electron withdrawing effect, plus I will be showing the electron releasing effect. Those groups which are releasing the electron cloud toward the carbon chain, all those will be treated as electron releasing groups, and here the electron displacement will be away from the group, not towards the group. If the electron displacement is towards the group, then it is called negative inductive effect. Let us consider, for example, CCl bond here, like this. If you take the CCl bond, Cl is the group here, which is attached to carbon chain like this. And here the electron displacement is towards the group. Cl is getting partial negative charge, carbon is getting partial positive charge. This positive spread is spreading through sigma bonds in the chain. That is inductive effect. But here the electron displacement is towards the group, not away from the group. And so this is what you call electron withdrawing group. You can take any group. Most of the groups are only electron withdrawing group when attached to carbons, particularly sp3 carbon. If you take the sp3 carbon, any group attached to sp3 carbon, always you have to think about the inductive effect. Inductive effect comes into operation there. And so any group when attached to sp3 carbon is always electron withdrawing, because you can take a group like OH, like group, NH2 group. All these groups you consider, OH is more electronegative than chlorine and then carbon. Similarly, electronegative nitrogen is greater than carbon. The group, first atom of the group, which is having more electronegative character than carbon, always they are withdrawing the electron density towards them. And therefore, all these groups are come under the category of electron withdrawing groups. There are many electron withdrawing groups. Any acid group is electron withdrawing. You can take, for example, SO3H. You can take COOH. All these groups are electron withdrawing groups. Even you can take any halo group. All the halo groups are electron withdrawing because they are more electronegative than carbon. Acid groups also. The first carbon will be made electron deficient by virtue of the other atoms present there. As a result of which, the first atom of sulfur will be withdrawing the electron density from carbon. And all these are electron withdrawing groups. In particular, whenever alkyl group is attached to, this is alkyl group. Alkyl group is attached to sp3 carbon. Alkyl group is attached to sp3 carbon. Don't forget, alkyl group never withdraws the electron density. Alkyl group is always electron releasing group. Whether it is attached to sp2 carbon or whether it is attached to sp3 carbon, it always releases the electron density towards the carbon. And that is why all the alkyl groups are electron releasing groups. So this is R is the alkyl group. This releases the electron cloud towards carbon, and thereby R gets partial positive charge. With the same magnitude, carbon gets partial negative charge. When carbon is having more electron density, C1 carbon pushes the electron cloud towards the C2 carbon, and thereby C2 will be slightly made electron density more electron rich. So it will be having slight negative charge. And C2 in turn pushes the electron cloud towards C3, and so this is also acquiring partial negative charge with smaller magnitude than the second carbon. In this way, alkyl group is always releasing group, electron releasing group. And so all these will be exerting only plus inductive effect. And you see the polarization is in this direction. And the polarization in the second bond, polarization in the third bond is also the direction is only the same. the polar covalent bond inducing the polarity of the adjacent bonds in the same direction. That is inductive effect. Electron is releasing from the group, and so it is a positive inductive effect. In all these groups, electrons are withdrawn, negative inductive effect. So in this way, we can consider the inductive effect two types: positive inductive effect, negative inductive effect. And now, out of all groups, which will be more electron releasing? Out of all electron withdrawing groups, which is more powerful electron withdrawing? And we have to get the sequence. For that, you have to consider various alkyl groups, and you have to write the sequence of the groups, more electron withdrawing, less withdrawing, like that. Please note it. Now let us consider the priority sequence of the various electron withdrawing groups as well as electron releasing groups. Which is more electron withdrawing, which is less electron withdrawing. Let us take the sequence. These are also decided basing on the electronegativity values. Scale was developed for the groups also, along with the atoms. Now, we will take the minus inductive effect. That means all these are electron withdrawing effects. All these are electron withdrawing groups. Electron withdrawing groups. Electron withdrawing groups exert minus inductive effect, and this is the sequence. The electron withdrawing power is decreasing from this side up to this extent. First preference is given to nitro group. Nitro group is more electron withdrawing than any other group. Next given cyano, C triple bond N. Next comes sulfonic acid. Next aldehyde. Next ketone. Later comes carboxylic acid and its derivatives. This is carboxylic acid, acid chloride, ester, amide. Later comes fluoro, chloro, bromo, iodo. Electronegativity is decreasing. The priority is also decreasing here. Iodine is less electron withdrawing nature than the remaining halogens. Later comes OH and OR. After OH groups, we will get amino groups, that is amino and alkyl amino. And last but one, that is phenyl group. After that, H is taken. Tertiary hydrogen will be taken as the standard to measure the electronegativity values as well as the group sequence. And this is given the least preference. So here, this is the decreasing order. So nitro group is more electron withdrawing power than cyano. Cyano in turn more electron withdrawing sulfonic acid, like this up to this last extent. You can write the sequence in this manner. Whenever comparison is to be made in between two compounds, which is more acidic, which is less acidic, for that purpose, which is more basic, which is less basic, you have to consider the group sequence. Basing on this, we can give explanation. So this is the electron withdrawing group sequence. Similarly, electron releasing. Alkyl group is always releasing. And in that, trialkyl group, tertiary alkyl group, CR3. For example, CCH, tertiary butyl, this is. Tertiary butyl group is more electron releasing. Then isopropyl, secondary. Secondary is more electron releasing. Then primary. Primary is more electron releasing than methyl. So electron releasing power is greater than this is greater than this is greater than this. This is the decreasing order of the alkyl groups. Out of all alkyl groups, the maximum inductivity is shown by tertiary alkyl groups. This is the sequence you have to remember. Apart from this, you have to know one more important point. What is it? I am taking anions as a group and cations as a group. Anions as well as cations. In these anions, anion is having that which is having negative charge and which is having more electronegativity, so electron releasing nature will be more and more. Remember, every anion will be having greater electron withdrawing nature, I mean electron releasing nature than any other group. Sorry, this is to be reversed here. You have to take here cation, which is electron withdrawing because it is having electron density less. This is cation. Here you have to take cation. And this is anion. You have to take anion because every anion will be having more electron density and it will be having releasing nature. Every cation will be having less electron density and so it tries to withdraw the electrons. Don't forget, every cation will be having more electron withdrawing power than any other neutral group. No charge carrying groups all these are. There is no charge carrying here. You can take for example OH group. It is no charge carrying, neutral group. You can call this as neutral group. But when once H plus is removed, it becomes O minus. This is a group. Because this bond is to be linked to carbon. This is anion. This is having more electron releasing nature than OH. In the case of OH, it has to release the electron density not to the charge, but the density present on it. So here in this O minus is a better electron releasing than OH. Similarly, you can take COO also. Carboxylate anion. These two are better electron releasing than any other neutral groups, electron withdrawing groups. And here if you take COO, that COO is getting resonance stabilization. COO is getting resonance stabilization. You can write in this manner. This is delocalized. This is hybrid of these two. So as carboxylate ion is getting resonance stabilization, releasing the electron cloud is somewhat difficult than O minus. And that is why O minus is better electron releasing than CO minus. And these two are prior to this electron withdrawing groups neutral. And so O minus is having more effect than CO minus. CO minus is having more effect than the remaining groups. This is the order. So these groups are to be written here, anion, O minus minus O minus here and CO minus here. These two are better electron releasing than the remaining neutral groups. And so O minus is having greater character than COO. CO is greater character than Cr3. In this way, all these anions will be having better electron releasing than neutral groups. So this is the decreasing order. And if you take cation, here you have to consider cation, please. These are under the electron releasing groups. And if you take cation will be having less electron density, and so it will withdraw the electron more easily than the remaining neutral groups. You can take, for example, NH3 plus. NH3 plus. NH3 neutral. NH3 plus is having positive charge. No lone pair availability at all. And so here the nitrogen is having electron deficiency. It withdraws the electron cloud more powerfully than the remaining neutral groups. And so this is cation, which is having more electron withdrawing power than the remaining groups. So this is prior to this you have to write ammonium. That is ammonium cation, NH4 plus, and the H plus H is removed, NH3 plus, one bond is removed because it is converted to group. NH3 plus is more powerful electron withdrawing than the remaining groups. So this is the actual sequence. Cations are included in the electron withdrawing group nature, and anions will be included in the electron releasing nature. Anions will be prior to the neutral groups, cations will be prior to the neutral groups here. You have to understand this. And this is the way you have to write the inductive effects, decreasing order in both the cases. Okay. Now let us consider the applications. Please note it. Just ఇంకొక నిమిషాలు 5 నిమిషాలు 5 minutes only. 5 minutes. 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 5 minutes Next, we have to consider the applications of inductive effect. We can study stability of carbonyl ions, primary, secondary, tertiary, which is more stable, which is the less stable. Next, stability of carbon ions can also be studied through the concept of inductive effect. Stability of free radicals, that one which is carrying odd electron, you can represent like this, or odd electron. Similarly, you can study the acidic character of carboxylic acid, which is more acidic, which is less acidic. Similarly, basic character of amines, because all the amines are typical organic bases, which is more basic, which is less basic. Through the concept of inductive effect, we can study all these, and we will study all these applications of inductive effect in the lecture number 2. In the next class, in the lecture number 2, we will discuss all these. Kindly subscribe my channel, don't forget. Thank you very much for your kind hearing. Thank you.